Good evening, everybody. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter. Today is Thursday, December the 26th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about all the cross stitch and I have very long videos. As you can see, to all my returning subscribers or anyone just clicking, this is going to be a long one. I have a lot to go over. And as you can hear, I got my voice back, so now I can be back to my loud, annoying self again. Yay! But we have a lot to go over today. I have a lot of stuff to show. You know what I don't have to show? My FFO that my mom finished for me. The Yippee-Ki-Yay piece. I think my son left it at her house. I was looking for it and I can't find it nowhere. But she turned it into a pillow for him and it turned out super cute. And yeah, I don't know where it is. I think it is at her house still. But it's okay because her birthday is this weekend and we're going back over there on Sunday. So I'll get it then. And I'll show it on my next Flosstube. The other stuff I have to show is, but I'm going to do this stuff at the very end. That way, if you don't want to see all this, you don't have to. Because I know some people don't really give a rat's ass. But one of the things I want to show is this. So this is my Christmas present from my mom. I get one every year. This box has nothing to do, like this is not personalized. This is not for me. She gets a quilting box from Missouri Star Quilting Company. And the person who designed the quilting box, it's an Advent box, is named Jenny. Just so happens my name is Jennifer. So whenever she gets her quilting box, she saves it from the year before and she does a little cross stitch Advent box for me. So give me 1 second. I'm going to put this down. But there's, like I said, at the end, I'm going to show what all I got in the box. But let me just put this down right here. And then the other thing that I want to show at the end is this is the start of my chatelaine that I will be starting in a couple weeks. So I wanted to show you guys the threads that I ended up getting because I did a conversion. So I don't have the FFO pillow, but what I do have is she did finish a couple other pieces for me. And this is, so I wanted to show those. This is something I did last year for my kids. This is from Stitch Rovia. Was it last year I finished this? I think it was. It says, I love you more than yesterday. Yesterday, you really got on my nerves. So she framed it for me and I am going to display it where they can see it every day. It does have a hanger on it, so I could hang it on the wall, but it's just a picture frame. So I could just place it somewhere like in the dining room so they could see it. But yeah, I love you more than yesterday. Yesterday, you really got on my nerves. And when I saw that, I thought of my children. And if you've never thought that about your children, you're a liar. And then the other FFO that I have is this one here. This was a stitch along from the Just Cross Stitch magazine from 20. You know what? Hold on. Let me go back to this one because I just kind of held it way back here. So I did the call for DMC. And I did this on a 14 or a 16 count opalescent, like white opalescent Aida. But again, I got this from Stitch Rovia's Etsy shop. Stitch Rovia's Etsy shop. So there's that one. And then the other one. This is the Butterflies and Bees. It was a mystery stitch along from the Just Cross Stitch magazine. I'm going to try to show it so I don't get glare. Like, yeah, okay. So I'm going to kind of tilt it forward. But this was a mystery stitch along from, I want to say, the 2020 magazine. Every block here has a specialty stitch in it. It took me 3 years to finish it. because that's my initials, and then 2023 was the year I finished it. Okay, I was making sure I wrote the 3 correctly. But yeah, so I'll get you in a little bit closer to see these. So the border is just regular cross stitches, but every block, I don't remember the names of all the stitches, but every block has some kind of specialty stitch in it. And it was a lot of fun. I quite enjoyed it. So it was super cute, and it was so much fun. I had a lot of fun doing this piece. So, I'm going to leave Glory of Autumn up on the wall probably for a few more months, and then I'll put this in its place, because this is also a picture frame, but it's got a hanger on the back so I can hang it on the wall. So I'll probably put that up there springish time until I find something else to finish, something else to replace it. The last one I want to show you is actually an FFO by my mom from like 1990. This is my stocking that she made me when I was a kid. This was one of the heirloom stockings from Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. This was the music room. So I must have been in middle school when she finished it, because I was in the band in middle school. I played clarinet. So I'll get closer so you can see this. But this is very, very old. This stocking is at least 30 years old. And man, she did such a good job with it. Like, I absolutely love it. So I don't use it. I just display it. And I put it out every year. But like I said, I learned how to play clarinet when I was in middle school. That was my instrument for band. But I also taught myself how to play the flute and the saxophone. I can play the piano a little bit too. Not very good, not gonna lie. But I can sight read some sheet music. Basic sheet music, but I mean, like, definitely not no fancy pianist or anything. But yeah. So, and I gotta say, like, for a 30-year-old stocking, like, the only thing that is like wrong is like this gold filament here, and it's not even wrong. It's just, it's so old that this filament here for the strings is kind of getting a little loose. You can see it like right here. It's kind of getting a little loose, but other than that, this thing is like fabulous. And it looks like it was done on a 14 count Aida. But yeah, gosh, she did such a good job with it. So I've been meaning to pull this out and show you guys like every week. But of course, you know, it's like I've been sick, so I keep kind of forgetting about it. But yeah, so that's my stocking, and I hang it up every single year. I don't put anything in it. Nothing. I put nothing in it. I don't want to mess it up. Okay. All right, so on to the stitching. What did I get to work on? Did I have any finishes? No. Do I have an almost finish? Yes. One piece is very close to a finish, so that's exciting. But this is my board. So these were all of the high and low temperatures for the week. This was my Monopoly bake-off stitching. I did not get to finish Honeymoon Sunsets stitches. And then I did complete the Bake the World stitching, and my weekly pulls and my whip of shame. So I did get to work on everything. So as you can see on the weekly stitching, there was a couple pieces only had 100 stitches. That was so that I could actually touch everything and not leave it by the wayside, which I think for right now, if I could just do 100 stitches on each thing, not the whip of shame part, but the other 3, the full coverage, non-full coverage, and the new start deal, if I could at least just do 100 stitches, I'll be happy. my work schedule is hopefully going to be changing in like maybe February-ish, to where we're going to adjust our schedules to go to 4/10s instead of 5/8s, which means that I would get a day off during the week. Again, that won't happen until like February. But I think if I had that extra day, then this would all be fine. But I think what I was thinking about this week, and I think what I might have to do, at least until I get that extra day and see how all that plays out, I think what I might have to do is, once we get into bigger stitch counts with Monopoly, I might have to do Monopoly over 2 weeks instead of 1. It might be what we have to do. We'll have to see how it goes. It depends on how many stitches are called for. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go over, and then, so we're going to go over all the whips. I have 16, 18, 20, 22 whips to show. And a lot of them are just 100 stitches, but that's okay. That is 100 more than what they had before. So we got all that stuff to go over. We're going to update the boards. I'm going to pull some new projects for full coverage and non-full coverage. We're going to play around in Monopoly, and then when we come back, I'm going to tell you who the Whip of Shame winner is, and for the month of January. And then we'll go over all the temperatures for the upcoming week and all that, go over plans basically. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the Whip of Shame for the month of December. If you are new, just a quick recap. My Whip of Shame are projects I've had for 10 years. Well, there's one that's less than 10, but we're not going to get into that right yet. But typically it's projects that are over 10 years old. And so I have you guys vote for about 2 weeks on which one will be a Whip of Shame for the following month. And my goal is to do 100 stitches a day on it for that month, to get however many days times 100. So for the month of December, my goal is 3,100 stitches on it. So for December, my Whip of Shame is an old dimensions kit called 3 Bird Watchers. And this is designed by Martha Edwards. That is what this is going to look like when this is done. I'm using everything that came in the kit. So I've kind of been consistently staying a little behind on this, but I was doing the math, and if I just have to double my stitch count. Actually, I got it down to where if I did 160 something a day, I'll hit the 3,100 by the end of the month. So I'm not worried about that. So you guys will see this one more time in my next Flosstube, and I'll have hit the goal by then. So 3 Bird Watchers. I did a combination of some full cross and some half cross, and I did 436 stitches, and this is where I'm at with it now. So I filled in a lot of this side over here, and I did some more in the snow, and I started getting this leaf done right down here. Trying to think of why I only have 430. Oh, because I kind of put it off for a couple days. That's why my stitch count went up, because I didn't start really putting stitches in on it until like Tuesday. But considering I kind of put it off for a little bit, so I didn't start putting stitches on it till Tuesday. But I calculated how many stitches were left in the goal, and like to meet the goal, and how many days I had left in the month. No problem. Okay, so that was my Whip of Shame. My non-full coverage pull for the week was the Mermaids of the Season Sal from, what, 2023? Yeah, 2023. This was a collaboration between Bella Filipina and Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. This is what the completed piece will look like. And so this is my non-full coverage pull for the week. My ultimate goal for the non-full coverages that I have in that particular rotation is to do a total of 4,000 stitches, and then they get replaced with something else. But this is what this is going to look like. And I am using the called for threads on the called for fabric. The called for fabric, well, I'll go over that in a second. So like I said, I'm doing the called for threads, called for fabric. And I did 200 stitches on this, all in the summer mermaid. So it was all like over here. And I kind of filled in a little bit of I finished this chronic thread here. And then I started filling in, I know it's hard to see, but you see like over here, it's like, you see like kind of spacey stitches with like, because that's how I was like determining, I would do like 9 half stitches and then do a full cross. So that's what I started doing here, but I just started filling it in. So I was tired of looking at that. But yeah, I got a lot more of her done. And the called for fabric, they gave different options for type and count. But I'm doing mine. The color was all the same. It was just the count and the count type, like Monaco, Lugana, Ada, etc. I chose the 28 count Lugana, and the color is Singing in the Rain by Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers. So that's how that is. I think what I might try to do is maybe just focus on one mermaid to get the mermaid completed. I don't know. I was kind of debating because I was like, oh, well, I was thinking about that when I was working on this. I was like, well, it's winter, so I could like go down and start working on winter. But now I was like, no, because I'm only doing 4,000. It's not like this is staying out all year. So I will either go, when this gets called again, I will either go back to the summer mermaid and just keep working on her so I can have something done, or I'll move over. I kind of bounce back and forth between spring and summer. The next piece I'm going to show you, hang on, I forgot my tablet. I was like, okay, I'm ready. I have everything. Nope. I forgot my tablet. Okay, the next piece I'm going to show you is my full coverage pull for the week. So my full coverage pieces, I have a lot of them, and I have a small grouping of them that I'm trying to get to 1%. So the one that I worked on this week is called Beach Getaway. This is by Charting Creations, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. This was a licensed image from Shutterstock, and it is 323 by 490 and has 101 colors. But yeah, that's what it's going to look like when it's done. So I'm doing this 1/1 on kind of like Ada even weave type fabric that I picked up from AliExpress. I don't even know what kind of, I think it was supposed to be like 28 count. I think it's 30. I don't know. Anyway, this is where I'm at with it now. So I did 100 stitches on it. I actually did that like really, really late last night, trying to just get something on it to push it towards the 1%. So I did 100 stitches. I am now sitting at 900 stitches completed out of 159,250. I am at 0.57%. So there's that. It was all one color I worked on. I figured that would be the easiest way to do it. Just do 100 stitches in one color. So there's that. And then the next one I'm going to show you was my new start pull for the week. So my new starts, what I'm going to be doing is every week I pull a new start until I hit 5 new starts. With the exception of Monopoly, I have 4 new starts I can do in there. And then the other exception are my planned new starts. Hang on, how's this go? Like that. My planned new starts that I have, that I'm starting with a couple different people. That will be in January though. So for right now, I have 5 new starts that I will be, like, I'll pull one a week. We are on this is start number 3. And then I will, once I hit 5, I cycle through the 5 until they hit 3,000 stitches, and then they get put into my whip pile and I replace it with a new start. So my new start for this week was a little mini kit from Artiste called Sugar Skull. And that is what it's gonna look like when it's done. Cute kit. It's gonna be done, I'm doing this on everything that came in the kit, and it's a white 14 count Aida. And that is where I got to with it. I did 100 stitches on it. So I got the nose, the black in the nose done, and the kind of purpley color that's immediately surrounding it done. And then I did a lighter color around it. And then this is another one. I was just kind of like, as soon as, like, when a thread was done, I picked another color and did that until it ran out, and I just kind of kept repeating. So, got 100 stitches on that. And that was all of my weekly pulls. Next up, we are going to go over Monopoly stitching. So, for the new people, I play a Monopoly game. I have 4 tokens. I have whips assigned to every piece on the board. And we are going around for the first time. I started a new game when I started my new plans this month. And so we are still going around for the first time. So when they land on a property, they do 100 stitches. Once they pass go, that's when we start purchasing. I will go over all of that a little bit more later. Okay, so let's go over who did what. So the cat landed on the go to jail spot. So the cat had to go to jail, and I had to do 200 stitches on my jail piece. My jail piece is one of my Whips of Shame. This is a Dimensions Gold collection called Rocky Point, and this was designed by James Hemsworth. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I actually really like this piece. I just never pull it out to work on it. So, but that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And when they land in jail, they have to do 200 stitches. So, I'm using everything that came in the kit. I think it's an 18 count. That's where I'm at with it now. 18 count ivory Aida. Yep, 18 count ivory Aida. So my 200 stitches was all in the house that is next to the lighthouse. There is some white stitching in here that's kind of hard to, some lighter, kind of hard to see. It'll probably be more visible once I do more stitches on it. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that so far. So that was the cat. Speaking of cats, if you start hearing any weird noises, Gracie is currently on the back of the couch right here, sleeping. She's not curled up into a tight ball, so she might not start snoring or wheezing, but if you hear weird noises, that's what it is. Okay, so then the dog landed on Illinois Avenue. And like I said, this is the first round, go around the board, so it was just 100 stitches on it. And Illinois Avenue is Apple Pie Harvest. This is by Charting Creations, artworks by Janet Kruskamp. It is 475 by 356, and it has 90 colors. Hang on one second, there we go. And that is what it's going to look like when it is done. I really like this piece a lot. It's like a grandma's kitchen. But that's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing it on a 32 count, easy count Lugana. 1/1 full cross. And I got 100 stitches on it. I finished the brown thread that I had hanging here, and then I started in on kind of the blue color on that shelf, this one right here, to finish off the 100. So this particular piece, I think right now I'm going to do it page by page going across, because my goal a couple years ago was to complete page 1, which I had done. So I figured I may as well go ahead and continue that method of stitching with this, going page by page. So I am currently sitting at 9,170 stitches done out of 169,100. I am at 5.42% complete. So there's that. And then the duck rolled doubles and landed on the just visiting spot. So just visiting, if you have never played Monopoly, apparently some people have never played Monopoly. So just visiting jail and in jail are two completely different things. Just visiting is just another spot going around the board. But when I'm playing, it is working on a piece I actually enjoy because they're just passing through. And so my just visiting jail piece is the Mill Hill Buttons and Beads Winter Series Christmas Village. This is Village Inn. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Really cute. What I'm not a fan of is the snow up at the top. I'm not looking forward to doing that because it's on perforated paper. Like you can even see in the model where the white thread runs in the background behind the stitches. So I'm not really a huge fan of that, but you know, it's whatever. And so when they land on the just visiting spot, I do 200 stitches, and that is where I'm at with it now. I'm using everything that came in the kit. So this is of, I don't know, brown perforated paper, 14 count. Been working on trying to get the top of the house. I went ahead and finished off this thread that I had hanging because I'd gotten more of this worked in. But now I got this one hanging. So pretty cute so far. I think what I'm gonna do is continue the cross stitching like with the threads in this, but then once I get more of that, I might work on the beading while I'm stitching, but I need to be home. I was working on this at my mom's. I need to be home so I can sort the beads out, because when you get your beads, they come like this. So I need to be able to sort these beads out. Okay, so like I said, the duck had rolled doubles, landed on just visiting. I did 200 stitches on that, and then it rolled again and landed on States Avenue. So States Avenue got 100 stitches, and that was Lighthouse Merriment. This is another piece by Charting Creations. Artwork is by Nikki Bohm. It is 425 by 352. It has 99 colors. And that is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's like all my favorite things. Lighthouses, Christmas, ocean, with no palm trees. It's fabulous. And so this one got 100 stitches, and I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on a 32 count easy count Lugana, and hopefully you can see where the 100 stitches was, because it's kind of like all over. I don't really have a method for stitching this right now. This is the upper left hand corner start. I currently am sitting at 2,350 stitches completed. out of 149,600, and I am at 1.57% complete. So there's that. I keep looking over this way because Mr. Whiskers has not made an appearance for a while. And I'm like, where's my boy? Mr. Whiskers! Where's the boy? Everyone loves seeing him. Okay, and then the last player is the penguin. And the penguin landed on Virginia Avenue, which is Mother Nature Halloween. This was out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine from 2023. This was the October of 2023 magazine, and that is what she is going to look like when she is done. And these were, I realized before that I forgot to say who designed these. These were designed by, oh, Lord have mercy, what is her name? I'll say it with the spring one because I worked on her too, because they're all by the same designer, but it's from Stitchora. And they actually have, not these particular ladies, but they do have an Etsy shop, Stitchora does. And I have a new start waiting to be started that I am super excited about. That's by them, that I got on their Etsy shop. So I'm hoping I will pull it one of these days out of my bin of new starts. So anyway, I am using the Call for DMC, and I am doing this 2/2 full cross on a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And that is where I am with her now. So she got 100 stitches. And as you saw, I did a lot of it here. And then I started coming up here to work in her hair, because what I would like to do is I would like to get up to, I started working on that little cape area, and then I decided, you know, I want to do what I'm doing, what I did with the Christmas one and what I'm going to do with the spring one. I want to work my way up to the top, and then that way I can like get the stuff done and backstitched as I go, so that it's not all backstitching at the end. So there's my 100 stitches on her. Did I say what kind of fabric this was? It's a 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. And they'll fit on one of those rolls that you can pick up at the craft store, because that's what I got. I just got four rolls of the tea-dyed Monaco, and they fit with plenty of room to spare. So that was all my Monopoly stitching. And then next up is my bake-off stitching. So I stole Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I stole her bake-off idea and adapted it to suit my stitching needs and wants. And so I have Great British Bake Off on Netflix. I am doing doing a stitching game with Great British Bake Off on Netflix. So I have stitch counts, different stitch counts assigned to each of the contestants that I did randomly with a dice roll, and it's from 100 to 1200. And if they get eliminated or if they get Star Baker, their stitch count goes on my main piece. If there is a handshake, I adapted this. So my new rules are, if there is a handshake from Paul Hollywood, then an additional, for every handshake, an additional 500 stitches goes in on my main piece. For the middle part where they do the technical bake, the blind judging, I have 2 whips that are close, quote unquote, loosely close to a finish. We'll put it that way. And one is assigned to everybody that has a stitch count that starts with an even number, and another one is assigned to everybody that has a stitch count assigned to an odd number. Sorry, my tablet just froze up on me. And so however many bakers are left for the technical bake, however many bakers are left is the letter N times 25 for the last place and 50 for the first place. And that's how many stitches I put in on those respective projects, with the idea that they stay in that rotation until they get done. I was able to finish, I think, 3 pieces in November and December because of that, because of doing that. So my main piece is, I'm trying to pull up the PDF and it keeps opening up the pattern. So my main piece for Bake Off is Honeymoon Sunset. And this was designed by, the artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It was charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. It's 869 by 649. It has 133 colors. This is what it's going to look like when it is done. So I am currently working on week number, I think it's week number 7. And so for week number 7, between the person who got last place, the person who was eliminated, and the person who got Star Baker, plus the handshake, I needed a total of 2,500 stitches. I knew I wasn't going to get it, but I was able to do 1,000 stitches on it. And I will go ahead and, oops, I just dropped my card. I will go ahead and show the whole piece once I show you where it worked. But I'm doing this 2/1/10 stitch on a 25 count, easy count Lugana. I converted this into a diagonal from the right hand side, and I actually just started doing a double diagonal where I'm working on 2 diagonals at once, and that is where I got to with it. So it's kind of fun because it's like when you're working on it really close, you're like, what's, you know, you don't really see what's going on. And then you kind of stop to look away at something and you turn back to look and you're like, oh, it's a bush. But I did 1,000 stitches on it. And I'm really excited to get back to it because I'll be getting up into filling like that much of the gazebo. So it's going to look really a lot more filled in. So that's super exciting. And then the house, and then like, you know, so I'm excited to keep going on this. Like I said, I'll show the whole thing in a minute, but I am currently sitting at 214,667 stitches completed out of 563,981. I am also, I hit 38%. I am now at 38.06%. So let me just, so I gotta stand up. So if you've never seen this before, I've worked all over the place. Okay. Oh. So that's the whole thing. I'll bring it in closer, no worries. But that's the whole thing. So I'm at 38.06%. My big goal for this is to get it to 50% by the end of the year. If I can keep going on this, here's the tree from hell. That's what I've been calling it. I hate this tree so much because I hate palm trees, but it really did turn out quite awesome. Like, I mean, you gotta admire that charting. I mean, look at that. That looks fabulous. Even though I hate the tree, I can't stand palm trees, which is awesome living in Florida. I get to see them all the time. I actually have one in my backyard that I can see every time I look out my window in this room. But I've worked all the way across the top. I had converted this into a diagonal, so this corner is like ginormous. So I'm excited to get this double diagonal worked on more and finished because we're getting into the fun stuff now. Now we're getting to the fun bits. So we're going to get the gazebo. We're going to get more of this house that's next to the lighthouse. And then we're going to get through a bunch of this sky here. But then we're going to start getting into the actual lighthouse and the other side of the light. That's exciting. And also, check it out how close we are to the bottom. So this was the point of my diagonal, like the bottom point right there, right? Hang on, here it is. That's the bottom. Look how close I am to getting to the bottom now. That's so exciting. I'm over halfway down to the bottom, but that's the bottom right-hand corner. Like I said, I've worked everywhere. That's the middle. It's a sailboat coming in with the rocks behind it. Tree from hell again. The trunk is right there. I'm not worried about these. These are from when I was working over here. I don't care about those right now. Those don't bother me. And bottom left-hand corner. So that's like super duper exciting about that. Like, oh my God, like right-hand side, there's the top and there's the bottom of the diagonal I'm currently working on. And then the bottom of the corner I'm working on down to the bottom corner of the piece. Like, that's super exciting. So I have noticed that I have been increasing this by about a full % every month by doing the bake-off stitching. And so I came to the realization that if I can continue, like I've hit 38%, a true full % will be 38.5. I do plan on working on this weekend because it still needs to finish week number 7's stitches. So it still needs another 1,500 stitches before I can move on to week number 8. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get that done. But if I can get it, I hit 38%. So I'm satisfied with the progress regarding getting it to 50% because I need 12% to get to 50%, right? I need 12 more %. There's 12 months in the year. So if I can increase it by 1% every month, I'll hit 50% by the end of the year. That's exciting. So, but we'll go over the stitching in plans. Okay, and then the other piece for the bake-off. So I told you I had two technical, I had 2 whips that I do technical stitching on. Opening this back up because it like helps with the echo. Only one of them needed stitches this week because both the first and last place in technical had the same type of stitch count. Whether it was even or odd, I don't remember. My book is over there. I don't think that I no, I did not put my bake-off. Hang on. I didn't put my bake-off in that book. I was going to wait for the new, when the season's done, because it's just a few more weeks left. So once I'm doing the bake-off with the season that just finished. Once I finish those weeks, I'm going to go back to an old season, and we'll talk about how I'm going to end up finishing it in plans. Okay, so anyway, technical stitching. Only one piece needed stitches, and it was Franny Ritter Designs Bake the World a Better Place. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. This should still be available because it's from last year. And I'm using the Call for DMC, and I got the beads for it. And I'm doing it 2/2 on a 28 count Jobelin in the color Chocolate by Witch Elm. And I needed 450 stitches, and I got it done. The stitches, not the piece. This is where I'm at with it now. So all the cupcakes have been stitched. All the cupcakes have been cross-stitched now. The hearts are cross-stitched. The only cross-stitching left is the words world and place. I went ahead and got all the beads done. I have to take that bead out. This was put in when I was doing these beads, and I did not realize that that was in the wrong spot until I started putting these beads in. I was like, crap, that's in the wrong spot. So I have to take that bead out and fix it, but I'm going to do that next time this comes out. But I went ahead and started on the back stitching. So I'm hoping with another good week like that I should be able to get this thing done. But since I got all the technical stitching on Bake Off done, but I still got to finish the main stitching, this will not get worked on this coming week. But when I go over plans, I will show you what the replacement piece will be once this gets done. So there's that. That's exciting. This is almost done. That is so exciting. I think one more good stitching week and that thing will be done. Okay, so there's my bake-off stitching. Let's get into temperature stitching. Okay. So, temperatures. I'm going to kind of look down because I got to see what was assigned to what. Okay, so we're going to go over the high temperatures first. So my temperature, one second, let me collect my thoughts. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm doing high temperatures and low temperatures. So what I'm doing is I have 10 whips assigned to the numbers 0 through 9 times 2. One set for high, one set for low. I chose the whips for the high temperatures. I did a video like at the beginning of the month or whatever. I had you guys decide the low temperatures. So this was the first week that I did the highs and the lows. I look at the projected temperatures. You can do projected, you can do actual, you can do the day before. It doesn't matter. There are some days where I have a lot more time to stitch, and so I go ahead and do projected. And that way, if I got time to do a bunch of them in one day, I can go ahead and do it. So we're going to do the high temperatures first because that is how I have it listed on my board. Okay, first up is the one that was assigned to number 1. So these are the highs. The one assigned, oh, okay. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll look at the projected temperature, right? And the high, just for an example, on the one I'm about to show you, on the 22nd, the high was projected to be 71 degrees. So I take the whip that's assigned to the number 1 for the highs, and I do 100 stitches on it. And then on the 21st, the high was projected to be 62 degrees. So I take the one assigned to number 2, I do 100 stitches. It doesn't sound like a lot. It really doesn't, but it adds up. Once my pieces hit 2,000 stitches, we're going to replace them with something else. So my high that's assigned to number 1 is Artist Kitchen. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Jacek Jurka. It is regular size, regular color. It's 450 by 406. It has, regular size max color. So it has 238 colors. This is what it's going to look like when it is done. I really like this piece a lot. But I am also very frustrated with it. I got so irritated because, as you guys know, I'm doing the call for DMC on a 20 count Ada. So hang on, let me just hold this up and then I'll tell you why I got frustrated. So I got 100 stitches on it because the temperature only came up once. And this is where I'm at with it now. So as you guys know, I also frogged some more of this. So I had a windowsill stitched, and then as I started working on this part down here more, I realized that this windowsill is 5 stitches over too far one way or the other. So I had to frog. I had this whole windowsill done. Well, the middle part and then the part that was going out. So I've been working bit by bit, frogging that out, right? And then I was going to work in all my parked threads over here. And I was realizing that I kept jacking it up. And I had threads parked where I did not have them, where they weren't supposed to be. I'm not doing this on a gridded fabric, so I realized that if I'm not doing this on gridded fabric, I really need to park and not wander with my stitches, because that's how I keep screwing stuff up. Because apparently, when it comes to counting, I have the capacity of a preschooler. So I started going back in and I said, screw this side. I left this side, because I had to pull, I was almost to 100. I was like, let me just get to 100 and I'll be done. And then I realized I had two colors, both of them stitched in the wrong location. So I had to frog 40 stitches out over here. I was so irritated. So I came back over here and I just started slowly filling this in and then parking in the next block over or up. I said, bump this, I'm going to have to park. So that's what I started doing. And I can't really travel up just yet because of this right here that needs to come out. So I'm just going to probably, honestly, keep working in this area, just filling it in, going off to the side. Because there's stuff, like fun stuffs all over. So it'll be fine. What I was worried about, Mr. Whiskers, come here, baby. He came in. Come here, Mr. Whiskers. What I was worried about was getting stuck doing boring ass background, like at the end, but there's like fun stuff all over, so it should be fine. But I am currently sitting at 2,218 stitches done out of 182,696. I am at 1.21% complete. And that 1.21%, that like the stitches I have done, this does not including this. When I realized this was in the wrong spot 2 years ago, because I didn't work on this at all last year. When I realized it was in the wrong spot, I frogged it out of Pattern Keeper, so it wasn't counting towards my stitches completed, but I still just need to actually physically frog it out. So, Mr. Whiskers, come here. Come here, my boy. Come here. Come here. Hi. Oh, come here. Hang on. Here he comes. Oh. Oh, Mr. Whiskers. Here's the boy. Here's my baby. So for those of you who don't know, this is my heart and soul, Mr. Whiskers. I love him so much. He always looks pissed, but he's not. He's not. As you can see, he's loving it. I have another cat, Gracie. She's okay. But yeah, he usually makes an appearance every video, and he just hasn't the past few weeks. But he, it's time for his num-nums. So he's like, where's my fucking num-nums? All right. So, but I know that some of you guys miss seeing him, so wanted to pull him out and show him. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I was getting really irritated because I was just like, I kept finding mistakes, not huge ones, but well, that frame is a huge one, but I noticed that a while ago. So that got 100 stitches. Okay, next up is the one, we're still in the highs. So I'll let you know when we switch to the lows. Next one is the one assigned to the number 2, and that is Sweet Bee by Stitchrovia. I got this on her Etsy shop. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. It is 140 by 140. Really nice piece. I like it a lot. And I am doing this with the Call for DMC on a 2/2 on a 28 count. I'm going to keep calling it lamb's wool, even though I'm not 100% certain if it's lamb's wool, because I feel like it's darker than what I see other people doing lamb's wool. So I'm not 100% certain, but I think it's lamb's wool. So this came up once, so I did 100 stitches on it. I completed the yellow part of this border here and the drop of honey. I did this at my mom's yesterday during Christmas. Like, I went over there for Christmas, so I did it over at her house. So I had only brought the one color, that yellow, with me, and so I only had like 9 stitches left to do to get to the 100. So I went ahead and came up here because this little banner on either side of the beehive, that's in that color too. So I just went ahead and started working on that. So this got 100 stitches on it. leaves are made of leaves. All right, so there is that. And then we have White Tiger Ghost. That one is assigned to number 5. And this is charted by Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Jeremy Paul. It is 300 by 300. This is a crop of a larger piece. That's what he's going to look like when he's done. Boop. Gotta boop the nose. It's got 59 colors. I am doing this with a call for DMC on a 14 count ivory Ada. And that is where I'm at with it now. This came up once, so it got, nope, it came up twice in temperature. So this got 200 stitches. And I am currently sitting at 4,800 stitches done out of 90,000, and I am at 5.33% done. So there is that. Then the next one is Mother Nature's Spring. She is assigned to the number 6. That is what she's going to look like. So same magazine, just Cross Stitch 2023. I think this was, I have my card in here somewhere, April of 2023. And this is the one where I actually have Perry Hadi, H-A-D-I, from Stitchora. And again, I'm doing her with a call for DMC on a 28 count T-Dye Monaco 2/2. Her temperature came up one time and I got 100 stitches on her. So I've gotten a good, like the flowers are done. I did the leaves. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on kind of filling in her head so I can at least get this part filled in, and then I'll be able to backstitch around the flowers and like maybe the top of the head there. Because what I want to be able to do is backstitch, there's French knots that go in the flowers, and then I'd like to be able to backstitch the flowers and the leaves and at least maybe the top of her head, but I want to fill in the face a little bit that goes in like all right here first. So, but yeah, got my 100 stitches on her. Okay, next up is Spa Gnome. This is the last one for the high temperatures. Okay, I can't get that to seal all the way, so forget it. I just need to switch over to another bag. Last up is for the high temperatures is Spa Gnome. And this is from cuteboardery.com. I gotta hold it back here because that's the actual pattern, but I do have her in Pattern Keeper, so I can give you a percentage of the cross stitching as soon as I find her. Here she is. Okay. So that's what she's gonna look like when she's done. I'm doing it with the call for DMC on this 14 count Charles Craft Ada. It's a printed Ada that you can pick up at any major craft store. 123 Stitch also has it, but I did the pink purple printed one. Isn't it pretty? And that is where I'm at with her. Her temperature came up one time. Yep, one time. So she got 100 stitches in her towel head up here because that's a lot of towel. And I'm going to be hella mad if I leave that all for myself to do at the end. But I did 100 stitches on that, and I am now sitting at 2,477 stitches done out of 5,479. I am at 45.21%. So I think what I might do as she continues to get called, I think I might continue working on the towel up here because that to me is the most boring part. There's Gracie Lou. This is Gracie Lou Freebush right here. It's my other cat. She's very vocal. Oh, Gracie, look in the camera. Here she is. There's my Gracie girl. She always looks so confused. Gracie, say hi. Say hi to the people. All right, go on. Anyway. See, Mr. Whiskers is all like, oh, hello, hello. And she's like, no, let me go. Okay, anyway, I think I might want to continue working in the towel, maybe try to get as much of that towel done as I can so I can start back stitching it. Because I'm going to be super duper irritated if I save that for the end. So, yeah. All right, so there's that. Okay, so we're done with the high temperatures. On to the lows. These were all y'all's choices. First up is Hiding Place. This is assigned to the number 1. Hiding Place is from the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. Stop it. It is $8.69 by $5.83. It has 134 colors. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this temperature came up one time. All of them came up once. So this has, let me see. I'm doing it 2/1 tenth stitch on a 28 count easy count Lugana that has been dyed with raspberry tea, not on purpose. And I'll show the other side, but the before picture is only going to have the corner that I worked on. So I did 100 stitches on it, and that's where I'm at with it now. So I'm converted it into a diagonal with parking. I counted over and did the diagonal with parking. So that's my 100, right? But I originally started in the upper left-hand corner. So I also have that done. So this is the upper left-hand corner. But that's not where I worked. I worked here. So I now have a total of 11,460 stitches done. That's why I showed you the other corner, because it's like, that's not 11,000. Out of 506,627, I am at 2.26% complete. So there's that. Okay, then the next one up is Holiday Quaker. This is assigned to the number 2. And this is by Lila Studio. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am using the called for threads. There are some fancy flosses. I actually realized when I was working on it that there's 2 flosses that I need to order an additional skein of. I'm not worried about dye lots because of how this is. They're all, I'm going to show you the flosses. Because of how these dye lots are, hold on. Some people freak out because of dye lot issues when it's hand-dyed threads like this, right? These are the threads. I'm not worried about it because of, this is like Quakers, yeah, it's a Quaker style. So if it looks like I need threads for a large motif and I'm not going to have enough of my current one, but I have my other skein, I'll just use that one instead. It's not that deep, seriously. So these are the threads, and the 2 that I need to order an additional skein of are Blue Spruce, which is what I was using last night, and What was the other one? It says it in here. I was trying to see if I read the names, if I would remember. Cucumber and blue spruce. This green right here. And this kind of bluish green right here. So I need to order additional skeins of those. Otherwise, I have all the colors. And I'm doing this 2/2 on a 32 count Lugana called Something Blue by Mystic Fabrics. And I put in 100 stitches all over here. So I worked all the way across that motif. So that's the width of that one. And then I just have to go back in and work on filling that in. And I think there's like 2 more. Yeah, 2 more of kind of this size right here. And then a little part down here. And then this one will be done. And I don't know which one I'm going to move on to after that. So. Really liking it. I did a upper left-hand corner start. Okay. Then, next up is the one assigned to number 3. And that is Sugar Cookie House by Mill Hill. Probably should tell you all the temperatures, but I'll do that next time. We'll just do the numbers right now. So this is Sugar Cookie House. This is the Buttons and Beads Spring Series from Mill Hill. That is what's going. You know, it's funny. I kept counting this last year. I kept counting this as a winter piece because it said Sugar Cookie House and it looked like a gingerbread house to me. Didn't even notice the peeps peeping in the front there. So it really is more of like a spring. Oh well. Anyway, I'm doing this on the, what color? Does it say? It doesn't say. It's a 14 count perforated paper. And using everything that came in the kit. And I did 100 stitches on it. I don't really remember exactly where I worked. I'm pretty sure I did this. I think I filled some of this in. I worked on the house, I know that. I filled in some of the house. That's the problem with working on so many different whips is I worked on this at, like, not long after my last Flosstube. So I've worked on so many things, I don't remember exactly where I put my 100 stitches in, but I did 100 on it. So there's that. Okay. Next up is the one that was assigned to number 4, and that is Merry Christmas. This is a kit from Artiste. Designed by Kohler Design Studio. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. Super, super cute piece. I absolutely love this. I will caution you though, if you get this kit, so with these Artiste kits, the legend is on the back. They did a misprint, and ignore this. This was my mess up here. They did a misprint and they have garnet with the filled in hourglass. They also have the very dark emerald green, also with a filled in hourglass. So by my powers of deduction and observation, I realized that the symbol that's in the bottom of this tree is supposed to be the very dark emerald green. And so it is the bird foot. I don't know what these things are called. It's a bird foot, that thing right there. That's what that symbol is supposed to be. Heads up if you have this. Okay, otherwise I'm doing everything that came in the kit, and I am very happy to report that after 8 whole stitches, I got the back stitching on the S done. I should have just completed it last time. And I got to start on the snowman, which is going to be the T for Christmas. So this cross stitching wise, like all that's done there. Started working my way up because I want to work my way up to the head. Actually, no, what I'm gonna do is when this comes back is I'm gonna finish this arm here so I can back stitch it and then kind of continue up in the head, and I'm gonna try to, but yeah, anyway, this thing is so stinking cute. I can't stand it. Can't stand how cute this is. I absolutely love it. So I'm very happy that you guys voted for this piece. Okay. And then, we're not done yet. We've got 2 more. Next up is the one that is assigned to the number 7. And that is, I'm calling it Reason Someone Smiles. It doesn't really have a title. This is out of the Cross Stitch for the Heart by Emma Congdon, who is also Stitchrobia. You can pick this book up on Amazon. And the one that I am working on, there's a lot in here that I want to do, but I haven't started them yet. I'm calling it Reason Someone Smiles. It says, be the reason someone smiles today. That's what it's going to look like. I am doing it with a call for DMC on a 14 count white Aida. And here's my 100 stitches. So I finished the pink around the little sun smiley face, and I got started on working on the stuff around it. The only thing I'm not really digging about these patterns is that the, like, you know how if a pattern goes over multiple pages, there's an overlap, like a grayed out overlap of even just like 2 lines. They don't have that on here. And not gonna lie, that's kind of annoying. Like, it really is. Because I keep having to look and make sure that it lines up correctly. So yeah, not gonna lie, that's pretty annoying that there's no overlap on the pages. It's like that with Sweet Bee too. The one I got on Etsy. It's like that on there too. There's no overlap on it. So I'm like flipping back and forth between pages, making sure everything lines up. So it's, yeah, it's kind of aggravating. But what are you gonna do? Okay, and last up, the one assigned to number 9, Cupid's Cafe. This is by Sugar Stitches Design. I picked this up on 123 Stitch, but I want to say this pattern is available on their Etsy page as well. Not gonna lie, when y'all voted for this thing, I was like, oh God. Not because I don't like it, because I do, it's really cute. But I was like, oh my God. Because a lot of you were wanting this to be finished. You were like, oh, 2,000 stitches will get this thing really, really close to a finish. And I was like, I don't think it's going to get as close as you guys think it's going to be. Like, I don't think it's as close as you guys think it's as close, right? But I'm doing the call for DMC on a 28 count baby pink even weave. So the pink is not going to show up very well. It never does. But it's just, I feel like this piece is never ending. Like, when I got this, I'm like, oh, this will be a nice, quick, easy stitch, right? And I'm like, holy cow, I've put in so many thousands of stitches on this, and I'm still like nowhere close to being done. But here is where I'm at with it now. So my 100 stitches, if you couldn't tell, you can kind of see the white stitching a little bit better today. I completely completed this section over here. So this is all done. That little trellis and all the little back stitched stems on the little rosebuds there. So that is completely done. And then I did all of the back stitch because I had to finish some back stitching on the stems that were kind of coming down. So I completed all that. So this whole section up here and this section here is completely done. This stuff was already done. This side over here is not completed yet, but I did 100 stitches on it. And what I plan on doing is, next time this comes out, is I'm going to work on doing the little back stitch stems on these rosebuds all going across. And I want to say actually, no, I lied. I don't think this is completely done. I have to double check. I was going to do all the stems going completely across. Oh, there's a little bit more backstitch stem that kind of comes down this way. And I was going to do that. And then I was going to work on this trellis over here, whatever that thing is called. So as this comes out more, my goal is to work on this going across the little stems, finish the backstitch stems here, and then start working on this. And then I'll move down to the bottom because by then this stuff is all done already. So I'll work on this bottom. I'm going to end with the word forever because that is going to go by like super quick. So that's going to be like what I look forward to, is ending on the word forever, because I feel like this took forever. That's not why. That just popped in my head. But but that I know is going to be like super easy and quick to do. So that's like, I'm giving myself something to look forward to once I get to that point. So ideally what will happen with this is when I hit the 2000, if it's not a finish by then, ideally this will be able to go into my bake off technical stitching to finish it off. So those are all my whips. Took long enough, huh? Okay. Let's update my boards real quick. Let me get into position here because I got to prop the boards up on my... I'm preparing ahead. Here's my marker. Did I get my boards to write down my finishes yet and cross off stuff when I hit goals? No, I have not. I went to Walmart, completely forgot to look at the project boards. Might try to do that this weekend. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these boards updated. So first board up is going to be the focus pieces. And up here is my full coverage to 1%. So all of the 5 that I have in my full coverage rotation right now all have different stitch counts because of course there's different stitch counts to get to 1%. So Beach Getaway was the one I worked on this week. I was only able to put in 100 stitches on it. And so this goal is dropping from 793 stitches down to 693 stitches. And then my non-full coverage rotation, I have 5 in that right now. And my goal for those are to get them, get 4,000 stitches done on them. And the one I worked on this week was Mermaid, the Mermaid sow. And I did 200 stitches on that. So this goal is dropping from 4,000 down to 3,800. Once they hit their goals, I have a total, real quick, I have a total of 18 full coverage pieces that need to get to 1%. So once one of these hits their 1%, they will get replaced with another one that needs to get to 1%. Once these pieces hit 4,000 stitches, I will replace them with another piece to put 4,000 stitches. Because if you're new, I have over 200 whips. Okay. My new starts, I went ahead and added Sugar Skull onto the list. So I was able to put in 100 stitches on that. And so all my new starts have goals of 3,000 stitches. And so this is dropping from 3,000 down to 2,900. And then down here at the bottom of this board is my Honeymoon Sunset. My goal is to get it to 50% by the end of 2025. This is how many stitches are remaining to get it to 50%. So this is increasing from 1,806. I did 1,000 stitches on it So this is going to be 2,806. Make sure I wrote it down. Yep, okay. Making sure I wrote the number down right. And then this this goal is dropping from 68,324 down to 67,324. So there's that board. Next up is the Monopoly board. This is board 1 of 2. So this one, I have all the properties that go around the board. I have the properties in green, the WIP assigned to them in black, current stitch counts, goals. So once these Monopoly properties hit 4,000 stitches, they will get replaced with another piece. So the ones we are going to update are, where did it go? Lighthouse Merriment, number 7. I did 100 stitches on it, right? Merriment, yeah, okay. Lighthouse Merriment, number 7. I did 100 stitches on it. And so this goal is dropping from 4,000 down to 3,900. And then Mother Nature Halloween, the very next one, also got 100 stitches. So this is also dropping to 3,900. And then, oh goodness, Apple Pie Harvest. Second time I've worked on it since we started playing. So this is increasing from 100 to 200. And the goal is dropping, sorry, from 3,900 down to 3,800. And I believe that is all on this board. Yep, okay. The other Monopoly board is the corner pieces and the railroads and utilities, and then any new starts I do from the community chest cards. So on this board, where is it? Special spots. Village Inn is my just visiting piece. This is the second time I've worked on it, so it's increasing from 200 to 400, and the goal is dropping from 3,800 down to 3,600. And then the other piece I worked on this board is the one from Landing in Jail, and that's Rocky Point. That got 200 stitches on it. So this goal is dropping from 4,000 down to 3,800. So that's that board. All right. Next up, let's do this little one real quick because that temperature one's going to take a few. So this is my little one. I'm leaving this one on here to remind myself. Yippee-ki-yay is the piece I finished that my mom FFO'd for my son. Once I actually get my project boards to write the finish down, then we'll take that off of there. So I have my Whip of Shame on here, and then I have the 2 technical stitches for Bake Off on here as well. Calendar Girl September is the other piece I didn't have to work on this week. 3 Bird Watchers is increasing from 1,509 to 1,945, and the goal is dropping from 1,402 down to 966. So I have until December the 31st to get that done. Today is the 26th, plenty of time, no problem. Bake the World. I already had 175 stitches on it. Now that is since we started the new plans. I had already put a lot of other stitches in, obviously. This is increasing from 175, adding the 450. This is now at 625. There's no goal on these because the goal is to finish it, but they're paper patterns, so I have no idea how many stitches it's going to be. If anything on here gets put on to finish and it's in Pattern Keeper, where I know how many stitches are left, I'll be able to put that on here too. So that's it for that board. That's why I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, last board. It's my temperatures. Okay, so we're going to do the high ones. So I got highs and lows listed on here. The lows we just started this week, so that's why they're all blank. Okay, first up is Artist Kitchen. This is increasing from 300, oh my God, hang on. Okay, this is increasing from 300 to 400, right? I just did 100 on it, yeah. This is increasing from 300 to 400, so this, because I did 100 on it, and the goal is dropping down to 1,600. And once it hits 2,000 stitches, I will show you the before, like when we started the 2,000 and the after, and then I will be replacing it with another piece. All right, next up is Sweet Bee. This got another 100 stitches, so this is increasing from 100 to 200. And the goal is dropping from 1,900 down to 1,800. And then White Tiger Ghost. So I have it listed 1 to 10, just real quick in case you're like, what is going on? I have it listed 1 to 10 because that's how I count. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then I have the temperature that it's assigned to in green because that was messing me up. 0 to 9. Okay, White Tiger Ghost. I did 200 stitches on this. So this is going from 100 to 300. And the goal is dropping from 1,900 down to 1,700. And then Mother Nature's Spring is increasing, that got 100, so this is increasing from 200 to 300, and the goal is dropping from 1,800 to 1,700. And Spa Gnome, I did 100 stitches on her, so her goal is dropping from 2,000 down to 1,900. Now we're going to do the low temperatures. Hiding Place got 100 stitches. So this is dropping from 2,000 down to 1,900. Holiday Quaker got 100. So that is now at 1,900 for the goal. Sugar Cookie House also got 100. For the low temperatures, once we get this to 1,700, we are going, I think what we're going to do is I will pull one of the losing pieces that didn't get voted on or didn't win the votes. We'll pull one of those and then a random one out of my stash. Merry Christmas, got 100 stitches on it. Any of these pieces that hit their goal and they're close to a finish will then go into the pile. It's not really a pile right now, but they'll go into the quote unquote pile of pieces that are going to be for the technical bake for Bake Off, and I will work on them until they're done. Let's see, where are we at now? Reason Someone Smiles, number 8. Got 100. So that will drop to 1,900, and then Cupid's Cafe got 100 as well. So this is now at 1,900. Okay, so I've got my boards updated. As you can see, it gets a lot more fun to see like who's winning to get to the goal as this stuff gets worked on more. Okay, so that is my boards being updated. Next up, we are going to pull a full coverage and non-full coverage for next week. I already pulled out the 2 that I worked on this week. What I should have done was pulled out, hold on. Let me pull out the ones I worked on the week before too. Hang on. I'm not really cheating because I'm going to, here we go. If I worked on them this week or last week, I'm not working on them again. So really we're down to like, really only picking 3 out of 3. So this is my full coverage. I'm looking at the camera so you know I'm not cheating. Okay. So the full coverage for the week is going to be Winter Cookie Party. And then let me pull out the, hang on. Oh, that one's good. That one's good. Hyper Rolls is the one that needs to come out. I already pulled out the ones that I worked on this week. I meant to pull out the ones I worked on last week and I forgot. Okay, so then the non-full coverage for the week is going to be Year of Gnomes June. Okay. I'll go ahead and throw these back in here. Okay, so let's go play around in Monopoly. Okay. Okay, so we are on round number 4 of Monopoly. If you would like to play along at home, you can do it in a multitude of ways. I personally have a whip assigned to every property and every special corner. Some people, so whatever the tokens land on, those are the whips I stitch on. Some people will just watch me play and I do all the work, and you guys will just stitch to whatever, however you guys have it worked out. Some people will pick a particular token and do their stitches for that. So like if the cat lands on something, you would do whatever the stitches are assigned to the cat. Some people will have whips assigned to the colors of the properties, like they'll have one for all the oranges, one for all the reds, etc. Some people will have whips assigned to every single side of the board. Some have a lot of whips like I do, and they also have whips assigned to every property on the board. You do it however works for you. You don't have to do it how I'm doing it, because I know not everybody has as many whips as I do. So you do it how you want to do it. If you want to play along at home, you can post your progress on Instagram. You can tag me. I don't really post on Instagram very often, but I do go on there to look at stuff. So my handle on Instagram is Jen the Caffeinated Crafter _ between all the words. You can also use the hashtag Jen's Monopoly Sal. Even though they don't really let you, I think they don't let you follow hashtags anymore, but you could also hashtag it. But you can tag me on Instagram so I can see what stitches you got for your go at Monopoly. So let's go ahead and get started. I have all the pieces where they were the last time. We're going to start with a cat. So I'm going to move the board here. The cat is currently in jail. Just got in jail last visit, or last round. So this will be the first time we are rolling for the cat. If you don't know how to play, when you land in jail, you can either pay a penalty or you can try to roll doubles to get out without having to pay. So since he's the only one in jail right now, I'm going to roll doubles, and you can do that up to 3 times. So once the 3rd time hits, then you have to pay a penalty to get out. If I roll doubles, normally you would just roll doubles and just get out, and then you would get to go on the next turn. But what I will be doing is if I roll doubles, he will get out and he will go, but he will not get to roll again for getting doubles like you normally do. So if I roll and he does not get doubles, I will do 200 more stitches on the whip assigned to the in jail part. So, oh, he got doubles. Yay. Okay. So I got 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are on St. James. Hang on, I'm just making a note to myself here. So like I said, because he rolled doubles to get out of jail, we're not rolling again for him. That's a one-time thing. Normally, if you roll doubles, you get to go again, but not if you're getting out of jail. Okay, so we're gonna move up because the dog is up here, over here on Illinois. Let me go ahead and do this. There we go. Okay, the dog rolled doubles, got an 8, right? 4 plus 4 is 8. All right. Hang on. If you are not an older subscriber, I'm double checking myself because I jacked myself up once and I ended up having to do stitches on a piece I really hated because I miscounted. All right, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. North Carolina. Okay, still the first round, so we're just doing 100 stitches. Same with the cat. But he rolled doubles, so we're going to go again. Let me just move this down. Uh-oh, doubles again for the second time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chance. Oh, boy. Mentally preparing myself here. What do we get? Oh, advance to Boardwalk. 200 stitches. So advance to Boardwalk. All right, so hold on. The dog is killing me here. Okay. I'll go ahead and put that at the bottom of the pile. Okay, so this will be the dog's third. So advance to Boardwalk. So I'm going to do 200 stitches on the piece that's assigned to Boardwalk. And we're going to go one more time. If he gets doubles, he's going to just land directly in jail. If he does not get doubles, then we are going to pass go. We will have stitches to do on the go piece, and he will be able to start buying properties. So that's going to be exciting. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, boo. All right. I mean, I'm not upset about having to work on Rocky Point again. I'm sad because I wanted to start buying properties. All right. Jail. Nuts. I was like really excited about that. Man. Okay. All right. So now we are moving on to the duck. So now I'm going to have to do 200 stitches on my jail piece again. All right. So the duck is right here on States Avenue. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right. Free parking. So I actually saved my paper that I had all my rules on. So free parking, the piece assigned to free parking is going to get 300 stitches. Okay, last piece, or yeah, is the penguin. And that's a 7. Hang on, I don't know if you guys can see that. That's a 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Kentucky Avenue. Okay, so just a quick recap of the stitch counts, and I will have all of this information in the description box down below. The cat rolled doubles and got out of jail. It moved forward six places and landed on St. James. It is still the cat's first time around the board, so it will get 100 stitches on the St. James piece. The dog rolled doubles, landed in North Carolina, so that will get 100 stitches for that whip. Then it rolled again, got doubles again, landed on Chance, which was advanced to Boardwalk. So the Boardwalk piece is going to get 200 stitches because of the Chance card. And then it rolled again for the third time and got doubles, so it went straight to jail. So the jail piece is going to get 200 stitches. The duck rolled and landed on free parking. If you land on free parking, that is 300 stitches for that piece. And then the penguin landed on Kentucky. It is still the penguin's first time around the board, so that will be 100 stitches on the Kentucky piece. I'm going to go gather all my stuff up, both the Monopoly whips, temperature whips, all the things, and we will come back and go over my plans And then at the end, I'm going to show you that Advent box that I got from my mom. And yeah, so, all right, be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I am hovered over my bin of new starts. These are all projects that are kitted up that are able to be started. I may not have everything needed for said starts, but I can at least start them. So I'm going to reach in, look at you so you know I'm not cheating. Actually, I'm looking at myself. Now I'm looking at you. Where am I going? Where am I going? What am I grabbing? What am I grabbing? I don't know. All right, we're going to pull that out, put it over there. I'm not even looking. Okay, talk amongst yourselves for just a second. Ah, that landed on my foot. Okay, so what am I going to be starting? Oh, my new start for the week is going to be, so we're going to talk about all the plans, and still have more stuff to talk about once the plans are done. Oh my God. Okay. Let It Snowman from Stony Creek Collection. Cute little piece. And I'm going to be doing it on a 28 count crystal Hermosa Lugana. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I have an avalanche over here. And that's the fabric. And I'm gonna do it 2/2 with the call for floss. It's mostly DMC, and then it has one, what is it, Cayenne? Weeks Dye Works and Cayenne. I have that, so I'll just, when I get to the heart, because I'm gonna do it from the center, so when I get to the heart, I'll just pull it out of one of my projects and throw those stitches in, because it's like, what, 100 stitches, I think? If that, yeah, maybe 100 stitches in that color. The rest of it's DMC, and then I have I don't quite have the exact buttons, but when I was kitting this up at my LNS, we found some that would work. So the little snowflakes. There we go. You can see that a little bit better. There we go. Got a bunch of different size snowflakes. So that's gonna be a, hang on, I gotta look at this pattern. I'm gonna do it, but I gotta look at this one more time. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's gonna be a lot of white. Lord help me. And of course I'm starting right in the center of all that white. Oh, I'm so excited to stitch white. At least it's not white on white. At least I did that. I'm doing it on blue. Okay, so that's gonna be my new start for the week. My full coverage to get it to 1% is somewhere. Not in this notebook. Is going to be Winter Cookie Party. I pulled the wrong project. Hang on one second. Okay. I accidentally pulled Cake Shop. Okay. So my full coverage to get it to 1% is going to be Winter Cookie Party. And I'm not going to go over a lot of details with these plans. I'm just going to show you what the piece is going to look like and my starting point. If I can find it. Where did it go? Here it is. I will say it's by Heaven and Earth Designs. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I will go over all the details next week when I fix my hair, do my floss tube, my next floss tube. That's my starting point. To get this to 1%, I still need 3,007 stitches. I will say that much. Okay. So that's my full coverage. Then my non-full coverage is from the Year of Gnomes Stitch Along from Cross Stitch for Everyone. I pulled the one for the month of June. one moment while I figure out which one is the correct one, because when I was doing my whip parade, I showed the incorrect one. I had them flipped. Okay, so June is this one. Okay. So the Year of Gnomes for June is going to look like this. Like I said, this is cross stitch for everyone. And this is my starting point. Winter Cookie, I should have said what my starting point was for that regarding the stitch count, but I did say how many stitches I needed to get it to 1%. I'm currently sitting at 505,000 out of 4,672, and I am at 10.81%. So this is my non-full coverage to 4K. Once I get 4,000 stitches on this, I'm only going to need like 100 and change to get it finished. So that's exciting, right? So anyway, that's my non-full coverage for the week. Okay. Let's see. Let's go over the temperatures real quick. So, temperature stitching. Oh, Whip of Shame winter will be right now. Actually, we're going to stop for a second. Whip of Shame winter is going to be right now. Okay, so for the month of January, I had you guys vote between two pieces. I had you vote between A Whole Lot of Latte from Dimensions versus In Her Garden, Dimensions Gold Collection. And oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. So, the Whip of Shame winner that I will work on. Let me see. In Her Garden got 53 votes. Whole Lot of Latte got 64. I hate all of you. I don't hate all of you, but I hate all of you. Oh, I love this piece, but I hate it so much. So In Her Garden will be going away. Once January 1st hits, I will start this. Not start it. I mean, I will start working on it for the Whip of Shame. That's my starting point. I know a lot of you voted for this because you know how much I hate this piece. How much I hate working on this piece. I love the project. It's super cute. But I just don't like working on it. And I know a lot of you voted on it because you think that, like, you're like, it's going to get either finished or close to being finished by the end of January. So just work on it and get it done and over with. And I totally understand that, but put a hex on all of you. I'm just kidding. Anyway, that's going to be my Whip of Shame for the month of January. I still have to get my continue on my Whip of Shame for the month of December, 3 bird watchers. I still need to do 966 stitches on that by the end of the year. Not a problem. I'll be able to get that done easy peasy. Okay, so we're going to do temperature stitching because I have my temperature whips piled up right here. Okay, so starting with the 27th, because I had today's temperatures in my previous Flosstube whips. So starting with the 27th has a high of 84, low of 64. The 28th has a high of 83, low of 66. On the 29th, it's a high of 80 and a low of 64. The 30th will be a high of 79 and a low of 59. The 31st, New Year's Eve, will be a high of 75 and a low of 59. Kicking off the new year on New Year's Day, high of 71, low of 49. Gonna get a few cold overnights. On January the 2nd will be a high of 67 and a low of 46. And then on the 3rd, which I believe is my next scheduled Flosstube, I'm gonna go ahead and include that too. A high of 65 and a low of 43. So what does that mean to you guys? That means that for the highs, temperature, for the high temperatures, 0, which is, you know, I said I have them all right here, and I do, but I don't. For temperature 0, for the highs, will be hot cocoa gnome. This piece here. Again, all details in next week. I've got enough going on right now. This video is long enough, and I still got more to talk about. Oh shit, which way does this go? Oh, which way does it go? I forget. There we go. That's my starting point. So temperature 0 for the high came up once, so this will get 100 stitches. I kept looking at it like, oh my god, which way does it go? Which way does it? I can't figure it out. Which goes like that, Jen. Okay, so that'll get 100. And then temperature number 1 is Artist Kitchen. The one that I was having issues with the frogging and all that. That will get 100 stitches. I'm not pulling it out because I already showed it. The one for number 3 is Cherry Blossom. That's what it's going to look like. This is from Blue Fox Stitchery on Etsy. And I did a right-hand corner start on this. So that is my starting point. And this came up once, so this will get 100 stitches. I am starting this off at 3,011 stitches, and I am at 3.61%. Okay, then next up is the number 4, which is my Harry Potter Stitch Your Own Adventure. I'm doing this 3 times. The one that I am doing for temperatures is for my younger son. I have the parchment outlines print, like, that's really the only mock-up I can show because this is a choose your own adventure, so every piece is going to be different. And like I said, the temperature, the one I'm focusing on for temperatures is for my younger son. So this is my starting point for him. I am most likely going to continue in this area here, and this is going to get 100 stitches. Okay, and then the one for number 5 is White Tiger Ghost, the one where I booped his nose. Let me find it. Oh, okay. White Tiger Ghost where I booped his nose. I'm just going to show it right there. He came up twice again, so he's going to get another 200 stitches. And then number 7 came up once. That one is Patchwork Quilt Room. And this is by Heaven and Earth Designs. Hey, maker of Pattern Keeper, if you ever watch my videos, I would love it if your next update could be to alphabetize your stuff. Patchwork Quilt Room by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this temperature came up one time. That is my starting point. I am currently sitting at, nope, wrong what, hang on, wrong pattern. Patchwork Quilt Room. 6,859 stitches, and I am at 2.00%. And then the last one for the high temperatures is, not that one, hang on, Villa Lorna. This is from Stitching Moon Designs on Etsy. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. And this came up once, so this will also get 100 stitches. That's my starting point. I'm going to be working in the parked threads because I started this off in Royal Rose and I don't like it, so I've been working on getting the parked threads in. I am currently sitting at 10,403 stitches done, and I am at 5.12% complete. I'm going this way with the parked threads because I have a lot of them that are like the same color. So I'm kind of going from that in, working them till they're done. All right. So that was the highs. For the lows, which was the viewer's choice, the one that ended in 3 is Sugar Cookie House. The Mill Hill kit with the peeps. That came up once, so that's going to get 100 stitches. Then the one for number 4 is Merry Christmas. This piece here. That came up twice, so that's going to get 200 stitches. The one for number 6 is Ocean ABC from Design Works. And this is my starting point. I will continue working in the G block right here for goal. This came up twice, so it will get 200 stitches. And then the last one is the one for number 9. Cupid's Cafe. This temperature came up 3 times, so this will get 300 stitches. The piece that I feel like it's taking forever. So, okay, next up is going to be, let me see, what's this one? Oh, my Whip of Shame for the month of December. Like I said, I need 966 stitches on it by the end of the month. Honeymoon Sunset for Bake Off. This still needs 1,500 stitches to get the Bake Off stitching done. I'm not working on the technical stitches because I was able to get all that completed, so it's just going to be the main piece for Bake Off, but I did want to go ahead and show you the replacement piece once Bake the World a Better Place. Once that piece gets done, this is going to be the replacement. This is Autumn Gnomes by Maya Stitch. And that's where I'm at with it. It does not look like it's a whole lot. I don't really have any other pieces that are close enough to really count as working towards a finish. However, when you pull this up, I have it in Pattern Keeper. And the middle gnome is completely stitched. I just need to back stitch her. But this thing is only 4,608 stitches. I'm already 31.45% done. So it's not going to take a whole lot. I mean, that's like one of the, I don't really have a whole lot that are close to being done. So that'll be the replacement for I don't need to work on that right now. That'll be the replacement for Make the World a Better Place. Okay, so now we're moving on to Monopoly. Okay, so the cat rolled doubles and got out of jail and landed on St. James real quick. So if y'all are not new, you know, remember last Monopoly game, I was like, oh, I don't remember who owns what, blah, 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 blah. So what I did this time was in my notebook here, I have all of I have the property with the whip assigned to it, right? And what I'm going to do is once it gets purchased, I'm going to put which piece purchased it over here so I can look real quickly at a glance. But then I had said in my plans that once a token owns 6 pieces, once a token owns 6 properties, railroads, or utilities, their rent goes up. And also once 11 properties have been purchased and or once 3 railroads or utilities are purchased, their purchase price increases. So what I did was I'm going to tally mark down here. I'm going to tally mark how many properties have been purchased. Once that hits 11, the purchase price goes up. And then for the railroads and utilities are separate. Once 3 of those have been purchased, their purchase price goes up. And then I'm going to tally mark how many they own, because once they own 6 properties, their rents will increase by 100. So that's what I did. So now I can actually track it. Okay. So the cat rolled doubles, got out of jail, and landed on St. James Place. It is still the cat's first time around the board. So St. James Place is going to get 100 stitches. And this is going to be my Teresa Winsler. It's a tiny piece. It's not a huge piece. Teresa Winsler, the unicorn that's right here. The peacock is in the new start bin, but the unicorn has been started. And this will get 100 stitches. I have the fabric all folded up, so don't freak out, but that's my starting point. And then the dog, my nemesis, rolled doubles, landed on North Carolina. So, and it's still the dog's first time around the board. So North Carolina is Mr. Cardinal, and this is from the Cross Stitch Studio. That is what that's going to look like when it's done. And dropping, almost dropping. That is my starting point with Mr. Cardinal. So he is currently sitting at 1,205 stitches completed, and he is at 2.00%. So he will get 100. And so the dog had rolled doubles, so it rolled again and got doubles again and landed on Chance. And Chance was advance to Boardwalk and do 200 stitches. And my Boardwalk piece is the Stitcher's Paradise Sal, designed by Doreen Jones. And this was out of the World of Cross Stitch magazine, I want to say for 2024. Yeah, World of Cross Stitch magazine for 2024. And very pathetic start on this Sal, but that's my starting point. So this is going to get 200 stitches. So I was all like hyped up and excited because I was like, yeah, the dog is going to pass go, and we're going to be able to start purchasing properties. And what did the dog do? The dog rolled doubles for the 3rd time right at the very end and landed in jail. While he was on board, he was this close to being able to start buying properties. Landed on jail. So Rocky Point I mean, I like this piece, so I'm not mad about having to do stitches on it. I was like very disappointed because I was excited to be able to start purchasing properties. And yeah, no. The dog failed me. Rocky Point will get 200 stitches for the dog landing in jail. Okay, so moving on to the duck. The duck landed on free parking. When you land on free parking, well, in my game, when I land on free parking, that piece assigned to that space will get 300 stitches, which I'm very excited about because the free parking property, or the free parking whip, is Dreaming of Autumn Leaves by Rosewood Manor. And this is my starting point. And I'm super excited because I went ahead and ordered the rest of the threads that I needed, which means that I can go back and actually start filling this in to where it doesn't look like junk. So yeah, so I'm gonna go back and start filling all that stuff in with all the threads that I was missing, that I'm no longer missing. I'm doing it with the called for, it's like a bunch of Weeks Dye Works. Is it all Weeks Dye Works? All these threads here. I think it's all Weeks. I'll go over that later. Next week. All right. And then the last one is the penguin. The penguin landed on Kentucky. And Kentucky is Poltergeist Pirates by Glendon Place. And this is still the penguin's first time around the board, so this will get 100 stitches. And, oh my God. Here we go. That's my starting point. And I will continue. I'm going to do my 100 stitches on Mr. Bones up here. Keep working on him. So that is that one. Okay. Those are all the whips that I plan on working on. I am not 100% certain if, I mean, I'm only working a half a day on New Year's Eve, and then because we're only open until noon at my job, and then I'm off on New Year's Day. So technically, I think I might be able to go ahead and get a lot of this stuff done, but if I can't, I think my main, so let me go over my main focuses, what I'm going to work on, what I'm going to quote unquote worry about. So I got to get 3 bird watchers completed by the end of the year. Oh yeah, I was going to say no, by the end of the month. Yeah, by the end of the month and the end of the year. I need to get those stitches completed, but if I do 200 a day, I'll have that done. Counting today too. So I got to do that once I'm done filming. So I have to get 3 bird watchers stitches completed by the end of the month. And then once January 1st hits, I will start I will start working on a whole lot of latte. So ideally you guys will see about 200-ish stitches when I film on Friday, because I film my floss tubes before I start stitching. So you'll have the first and the second stitches on a whole lot of latte when I do my floss tube that Friday. So, and then the others, the weekly polls, the full coverage, non-full coverage, and new start. For right now, I'm just going to try to do 100 just to get some work on them and move on. The bake-off stitching, I want to try to get that 1,500 stitches completed for bake-off before my next floss tube, so I can move on to the next week. For bake-off, what I was thinking about doing, Jessie Marie is doing this as well. I don't know if she determined a plan for how she was going to finish off her season. What I was actually thinking about doing was whoever the winner is, I mean, I already know who it is, but I don't remember what their stitch count is. Whoever the winner is for, I'm still, because they still do a technical bake in the final episode. So whoever for the technical bake will still be as per the norm. And then, but I think what I will do, oh my God, hold on. Jesus. Okay. Once it hits 5 bakers for the technical bake, I'm doubling the stitch count to go from n times 25 and n times 50 to n times 50 and n times 100. But what I will probably do is go ahead and add 100 to that on top. So actually, no, I think what I'll do is whoever gets first and last, I'm going to do the n times 50, n times 100. And then I think what I'm going to do for the technical stitches is whichever, the person who's in first place and the person who's in last place for technical, I'm going to take half of their assigned stitch counts and put them on those respective whips. So like say the one for Calendar Girls, or let's say Bake the World, because we already know that that's one of them, right? You guys saw that earlier in this Flosstube. Bake the World. Say that was for the person who came in first in technical, like it was to their stitch count. It would be on the final episode, there's only 3 bakers left. So it would be 3 times 100, so that'd be 300. If the person who came in first had a stitch count assigned to them of, let's just say 800 stitches, then I would do an additional 400 on that. And then for the main piece for Honeymoon Sunset, I think what I will probably do is take that person, the winner's assigned stitch count. I haven't quite decided. I think I'm going to take the winner's assigned stitch count and double it. And that will be for Bake Off. Now I'm trying to think. Hold on. Let me think. Do I really want to put all that stitching on technical? No, because I just realized I'm doubling the count. So it's going to be 3 times 50 and 3 times 100. That'll be fine. The main stitching, I'm going to double the winner's stitches. So if they have a stitch count, okay, so the technical stitches, that's staying the way it was. I'm not doing the other stuff I just said. For Honeymoon Sunset, for the final episode where they only have a winner, I'm going to take that person's assigned stitch count and double it, and that amount is going to go on Honeymoon Sunset. So if their assigned stitch count is 100, then I'll do 200, and we'll done and dusted, and we'll move on to the next season. If their assigned stitch count is 1,200, that's going to be 2,400 that will need to go on Honeymoon Sunset. And don't forget, I still also have handshakes that have to be added to that as well. So that's going to be how I end it. So Jessie Marie, if you're watching, technical stitching is staying the same, because I know you're watching. Technical stitching is going to stay the same. Once I hit 5 bakers left, I'm going to double it to n times 50, n times 100, right? I'm going to end it with Honeymoon Sunset getting the winner's assigned stitch count times 2. Because I'm taking that monogamous part that you were doing. I'm going to double their assigned stitch count and then add 500 stitches for if any handshakes are given out in the final episode. So if their assigned stitch count is 1,000, they'll get, Honeymoon Sunset will get 2,000. If 2 people got handshakes, that'll be 500 times 2, so that'll be an additional 1,000. So that would be 3,000 that would need to go on Honeymoon Sunset. That's how we're going to do that. Okay, got that worked out. Okay, so if you were just here for that stuff and you don't give a rat's ass about the stuff that I got for Christmas, then that's all I got for you. But if you want to see all the goodies my mom gave me, stick around because we're about to bust open this advent calendar. I mean, I've already opened it. I've already opened it. I opened it when I got it. Hang on one second. Let me just get situated here. And I also wanted to show you the stuff for my chatelaine. I will be starting a chatelaine January the 13th with Yoshi. He wanted to do like a chatelaine style. It's going to take both of us forever and a day to get the chatelaine done, but you know, it's going to be fun. So I have I actually have two chatelaines. Hang on, I got to get up for a second because I got to pick this box up. I actually have two chatelaines, but I'm only starting one because the other one needs a much larger piece of fabric. So it's going to have to wait because I had to buy Christmas presents. But the other one, it was a more reasonable price. So I'm going to start that one. Okay, we'll go over that in a bit though. I'm going to show you the advent box first. So again, this box is actually a quilting advent box that my mom gets every year. And so she is saving her box from this year for me for my cross stitch advent next year. So my mom is the one who does this advent for me. And she just saves the bags because the bags match the box. So she just saved the bags. So this is in no particular order, but now I can actually use this stuff since I'm showing you. So this is in no particular order. I'm just gonna pull this stuff out. So one of the things is one of those printed Charles Craft rolls of Ada. This is the blue-green one that's kind of oceany. And then this one, it was becoming a running joke because I was like holding it up and showing her, and my stepdad's sitting there and he was like, you know, she put that box together, right? He was like, oh, Murtis, look at what you gave her. And I was like, no, I know, but I'm acknowledging the fact that, you know, I see what she got me. This one is a project bag that she made. Isn't it cute? So I have two bags from Alara. I hardly ever show my bags because, not gonna lie, it kind of bugs me a little bit when people like sit there and constantly show their project bags, especially when they're the same maker over and over again. So I don't really show my bags off all that much. But I have two bags from Alara, and then the rest of any other project bags I have are from my mom. Oh no, I lied. I have one from Garon. Yeah, I have one from Garon Stitchery that I got from a subscriber. But yeah, this is a project bag she made for me. Super, super cute. Love it. Now I can put a project in it. Okay. And then the next piece is a little embroidery kit. Comes with everything, including the hoop. So that'll be fun. That'll be super fun. I'm excited for this one. And then the next thing is, I don't have that. See, it's like days, like I don't have these in any particular order. Next thing is some needle minders from DMC. And I was telling her, I said, this is so awesome because the little floss minder, needle minder, is $9.95, which is one of my favorite DMC colors. I love $9.95. So that was nice. And then the next bag, she just finds little things for me throughout the year. Could be on clearance, could be not. Some of it's stuff that she makes for me. Oh, so this one, this actually matches. Do I have the bag here? Or is that one I put up? Oh, it's actually this thing right here, hang on one second, matches my whip of shame for January. I didn't realize she still had that fabric. But this thing is what's it called? What is it called? snap the corners together. Hang on, let me snap it together for you. Little orc catcher that you snap the corners together. So she made that for me. I'm excited now because I can actually like use this stuff now. So that's exciting. Okay, and then in this box here, we have some friction pins that I use for marking fabric. These are erasable pens. And then in this bag, we have a new shirt that I can wear on my Flosstubes. This one says, "That's what I do. I cross stitch and I know things." So now I can start wearing, I have a new shirt to wear for my Flosstubes. I don't have to wear the same old shirts anymore. I can now wear this old shirt. Okay, so there's that. I don't know where she got it, but I love it. It's probably some Etsy store. And then the next thing is a dome threaded needle case so I can store multiple threaded needles. So that's exciting. Never used one before. That's super exciting. Yeah. I feel like I have to sneeze. Okay, next up is, like, I know what she gave me, but I also forgot what's in here. So it's still like, ooh, what's in here? What's this? Oh, this one is a little frame thing she got. Oh my God, sorry. There we go. It says, beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. So a little frame so I can put that on my desk. And then next up, oh, every year. So got a gift card to Target. And then she also buys me a book of lifesavers. She's been doing this for me ever since I was a kid. So this has a little story in it. And it's just, if you guys, I don't know if this is all over the place. She actually had a hard time finding it this year. I don't know if this is everywhere, but back in the 80s when she used to buy it for me, I mean, it's literally just a bunch of packs of lifesavers. And the only thing, what makes me sad about this is that back in the 80s, it used to be 2 things of lifesavers. And it had the 5 flavors, and then it had other things. It had like a roll of cherry lifesavers and a roll of the butter rum lifesavers, which were my favorites. Now, all they do is they give you one thing of the 5, like one thing of the 5 flavors. I mean, the flavors are good, but that makes me sad. I really like the butter rum. I looked forward to it every year. Yay, get butter rum lifesavers. But yeah, she buys one. She's been buying me a lifesaver book every year since I was a kid. Next is soft. I forget what's in here. Oh, when I opened up this one and I was showing her, I was like, hey. My stepdad was like, hey, Murtis, look what you got her. I was like, no, I made it. She gave it back to me as an FFO. This was a finish that I had at the end of last year. This was a kit from Dimensions called Believe. So I finished this at the end of last year, and she finished it into a little pillow for me. Isn't that cute? With a little rickrack around the edges. But yeah, so this was my finish, my final finish for 2023. And she made it into a pillow for me and then gave it back to me as a Christmas present. But this is going to be on my desk with my other pillows. I have my Winter Wolves over here, and then I have one that I stitched up in 2005 over there that she had done as a pillow, and then I have my little Valentine's Day gnome that she made into a pillow. They're all just lined up on the edge of my desk, and this is going to be sitting there all year long. I am a firm believer in you put the work in for it, you display it whenever you want. I want my shit up all year. All year. This is going to rotate only because like my FFOs I showed at the beginning of the episode, I'm going to have them out, but this, I'll go ahead and keep this right here for you guys until probably, like I said, probably the spring. Maybe I'll start January off with that. I don't know. But that's really more for y'all. I'm going to have all my stuff displayed all year long. If I put the work into the piece, we're moving on to the next one. If I put the work into the piece and my mom put the work in to finish it for me, I'm going to show it off all year. I don't care if it's seasonal. Oh, next up is another little kit that she found somewhere. It's a little scarecrow. Comes with everything, including the hoop. Cute little piece. Next up is another little kit. So many new starts. A little dimensions kit. It's a buffalo plaid reindeer. How exciting. And it like comes with everything. Comes with everything, including the hoop. How cute. So once I get it done, all I'm gonna have to do is lace up the back and these hoop ones will be done. How exciting is that? Okay, next up is this little box here. And this one is, what is this? Oh, right. Okay, so this one is, these are needle threaders. I don't feel like, I need scissors. Because the part that you lift up is taped. All right, I'm not worrying about that. But these are needle threaders, and the threader part, it took me a few minutes to find it, but they're needle threaders. You know what? Hang on. Haha. So I've got pink, green, and white. So that's what they look like. And then it's hard to, there we go. You can kind of see it now. See that? Needle threader. There's a bunch of them, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 in there. So there's those. And then two more needle minders. Cats with knives. I love them. Love them so much. Cats with knives. Oh God, that makes me laugh. Oh, murder kitties. Okay, next up. This box here. A coffee mug. It says, "It's official, you're awesome." Yes, I am. So I have another coffee mug to add to my collection. This bag here, what is this? Oh, right. This is Stitching Across America. It's 63 teeny weeny cross-stitch patterns celebrating U.S. national parks. And I don't know how to say his name. Lior Zakovitsky? I don't know. Oh my God, it's the guy from Teeny Weeny X Stitch. I have his Magic Potion temperature cell. I just realized that. Right there. He has a Etsy store. Oh, you know what? Now that I look at this, I thought that looked familiar. I was like, you know, I feel like I've seen these somewhere before. I've seen them on his Etsy store. But yeah, so it's 63 tiny little, I mean tiny, like 40 by 45 averaging. Maybe even 40 by, yeah, about 40 by 45 of all these different national parks. I can't really show you because they are all tiny little patterns, But yeah. So that'll be cute. 63 different national parks I can stitch. All tiny. Okay, next up. Is a floss organizing hoop. So that's fun. I can use this for one of my small projects. And then oh, I was like, what's this? This is a bag. Same front and back. It says, this is proof I had the patience to stab something 4,000 times. So, it's a little accessories bag. And then another little kit. It says, but first, coffee. And it comes with everything. And then it's an advent box. There's like 25 things in here. This is a little ornament that she made me. Red on the back, but she made that for me. So that's nice. I can hang that on my tree. I'll leave my tree up until after the New Year, so I can actually go ahead and put it up once I get done. Next up is another kit. This one is from DMC. Isn't that cute? Comes with everything, including the hoop. I love these because I can like FFO it as soon as I'm done. I can like stitch it in the hoop and then just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Call it a day. All right, next up in this one, another little kit. This one is a US flag heart. Cute little thing. Again, comes with a hoop and everything. Next up is, we're getting close. We're almost done. Another little kit. This also comes with everything to finish it. This is a little, it says Happy Camper. Actually, it looks like it comes, yeah, it comes with the dowel rod and everything. And yeah, looks like the Ada comes as a little flag shape already. So fun. And it's already, yeah, this will be a super easy finish because the Ada is already finished, like, so you can just shove the rod in there and then, yeah. So that'll be nice and quick. Well, quick to finish. All right, next up. Another little kit. This one says, love you to the moon and back. This is a cute little kit from Busilla. And this also comes with the frame. So that little black frame comes with it. These are cards from my stepdad. Oh, so let me put those over there. This came in her quilting box. This was nothing. I was like, oh, look at that. It just came in the box. That's really cute though. Yeah. Okay. I think this is the last, yeah, this is the last thing. This, probably one of my favorites. 3 more project bags she made me. So here's one. They're all like little pin cushions. And then this little cross here is from, I think, my cousin, I think she said. My second cousin. And then this here is another one. It says, oh, just zipper, okay. Thought there was something hanging off of it. This here is another project bag she made me. Then here's the back of it. Super, super cute. Love it. And then, as this is a thing that we do as well, here's the inside. The other one was like plain white. And then the final one is this one here. So this was, what's it called? The, oh, she didn't quote all that together. That came like that. You know what I'm talking about. Panel. And then here's the back. And I want to say that, I think this is, yeah, plain white on the inside. And I want to say that I feel like she did this little macrame tassel here. I want to say she made that too. So, got it. So I got a total of 4 project bags out of that. Yay! So exciting. So that is my Advent box. I feel like I rushed through that. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about before I let you guys go was my chatelaine. So like I said, Yoshi over at, he's the cross stitch guy here on YouTube. I want to say that's his handle on Etsy, Instagram as well. He wanted to do a chatelaine style. So I picked 2 chatelaines I wanted to start, and one, like I said, one of them is going to end up being huge. So I'm going to do I'm going to start them both eventually. But the one I'm actually going to start first on January the 13th is going to be Deep Blue Sea, I believe it's called. I'll insert a picture of what it's going to look like. I am going to be torturing myself. I'm going to do it on 28 count Jobelin in the black, 2/2. Let's try and go ahead and pull the fabric out. So I'm going to do it on black, and this is like a 1/2 yard of Jobelin. 1/2 yard? Yeah, 1/2 yard. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about with this is a lot of these chatelaines require Gloriana silks. It is very hard to find Glorianas. Very hard. So I don't have the time nor the patience to wait on them to come back in stock somewhere, or wait on 6 months for them to come from European cross stitch. I was like, well, let me go ahead and just start what I can start, because this piece in particular calls for DMC and Glorianas and let me see, DMC, Gloriana Pearl, Dinky Dyes, Karen Water Lilies, Rainbow Gallery Petite Treasure Braid, Rainbow Gallery Petite Silk Lame Braid, Delicate Beads, Swarovski Crystals and Cubes. Yeah. So what I had decided to do was, I was like, well, this will be easy peasy. I'll just start the chatelaine with the DMC and like whatever dinky dyes and whatnot that I can find, right? Wrong-o. I'm doing a center start, and of course everything in the center like immediately is Glorianas. So what I ended up doing was I looked at the list of Glorianas, and I think I'm going to do another separate video of this. I just wanted to show you a couple examples. I'm going to do a whole separate video of this, but is this called Deep Blue Sea? Because this floss is Deep Blue Sea. I don't remember. I don't remember the stupid name of the... Yeah, it is called Deep Blue Sea. Okay, it was throwing me off because the first one I picked up, it called for Gloriana Deep Blue Sea. And I think I'm going to insert a picture of what that floss looks like. And this is what I decided to do a conversion. So My substitute for the Gloriana Deep Blue Sea is going to be Classic Colorworks Bejeweled. It's going to be a little hard to see, but this was what I was able to find that was pretty darn close. It's a mixture of like blue, dark blue and dark green. And like I said, I'm just going to show you a couple examples of my substitutes. I think I might do a whole separate video as it gets closer, maybe right before it starts, and go over what I decide, like basically go over my conversions, because I'm not playing that mess. Gloriana silks can kiss my butt. Here's another one. I did a stash dive. I don't have a name for this silk here, but Gloriana Old Gold was the called for, and I did a stash dive because I had some extra flosses laying around. And I had this one from Silks For You that I thought was pretty close to the Old Gold that was pictured. And so that is what I'm going to end up using for Gloriana Old Gold, is this mystery color from Silks For You. So I looked for everything that I had already, and then I ended up having to just order 1 or 2 Karen water lilies, and I ordered the these ones are the actual, I didn't have to substitute these. So this is the Petite Treasure braid that's called for, and all I did was I looked at the center portion where I'm going to be working first. That's what I worried about ordering. The rest of the stuff, because there's more flosses, the rest of the stuff I'm going to worry about later. But it did call for 2 skeins of the Dinky Dyes Blue Groper. So I went ahead and ordered both of those. And this one is also one of the called fors. This is the Karen Water Lilies and the color Pesto. And so those were actually called for. I'm going to show you one more conversion. This one was the Gloriana Cottage Woods Light. I was getting the assistance of Alara, so I screenshot all of the colors that were called for, and then I was sending her pictures of the ones I wanted to substitute. And she was like, yeah, that'll work, that'll work. So this Gloriana Cottage Woods Lights, I am substituting with Karen Water Lilies Desert Shadow. I think that's a pretty close one right there. So when I start this, I'm going to be working off of the PDF. I bought the PDFs from European Cross Stitch. I would recommend that you purchase the PDF as opposed to just the paper chart, because the paper chart is a joke. I mean, it is a freaking joke. As much work as you put into these patterns, like I bought the PDF and I printed it so I could try to look and compare and get the flosses. This is what prints out for the black and white. The color is a little bit easier to read, but that's how it prints out. Like that's a freaking, I was like zooming in on the computer, like what symbol is that? So, but the very center of it, where I'm going to be, that's where I'm going to be starting. Very center of it, of course, are the, like the crystals and stuff. So what I'll end up doing is blocking out where the crystals are going to go. I'm going to find the center, and then I will kind of count out where the crystals are supposed to go, and then start stitching. And again, I'm going to start that on the 13th. So as it gets closer, sometime in January, before I start, I will go over all of these one more time. I might even maybe, I don't know if I'm going to do a stitch with me because it's 28. I'm going to do it over 2, but it's on black. I don't know. But yeah, If you even want me to do another video where I actually show what I'm converting to, because I do not feel like if you read the stuff from her, she's like, oh, it's not going to look the same if you don't use what I say to use. You know what, Heifer, you can kiss my ass because you pick flosses that are very hard to come by. Very hard to come by. And nobody wants to wait 6 months to start these expensive projects. So I'm doing a conversion. And nobody's going to come up and look at my piece and be like, oh, is that a Dinky Dyes? Oh, you were supposed to use a Gloriana right there. And I see over here where you were supposed to use a Gloriana and you used a Karen Water Lilies. Nobody's going to know. Nobody is going to know. As long as it looks similar, I'm happy with it. If you want to wait 6 months for Glorianas, that's on you. That's fine. You do you, but I don't have the patience for that. Anyway. I think that's all. Pretty sure that's all. I feel like this is an extremely long video. I feel like this is going to be like 2.5 hours, maybe almost 3. I have no clue because it's in multiple parts. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section down below. If you like what you had to see and you're not already subscribed and you are still watching this, dude, hit the subscribe button like now. And the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. I think that is all. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have to say. I don't think so. I think that was it. That was a lot. That was a lot to go over. Yeah. So take care. Happy stitching. Get a lot of stitches in, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.